celiac disease. A 5-year-old boy presented with the complaint of recurrent pain of abdomen, bloating, recurrent vomiting, and history of constipation was presented to us. On further history taking, it was found that the child was growing well till 1 year of age, after which velocity of weight and height gain has reduced. On examination, the child was found alert, conscious, and cooperative. A pallor elicited. His BCG scar found normal. Heart rate was 128 per minute. Blood pressure was 94 by 62 millimeter per Hg. Lymphadenopathy not found. Icterial cyanosis or clubbing was not found. On plotting the growth, it was found the child was below the second centile for his age.
This is the normal present student. Normal what is abnormal BCG. Don't give the number present. Wait, because
further the child having no family contact history of tuberculosis, he never presented with loose stool or oily stool. He was there was no history of recurrent chest infections or melena or hematemesis. A dietary history. The child was exclusively breastfed up to the age of 6 months. Thereafter, he was on wheat and rice-based diet. The differential diagnosis is first of all tuberculosis, secondly cystic fibrosis, immunodeficiency of congenital or acquired irritable bowel disease. The child never having the history of contact history of family contact history of tuberculosis. The child having no family history of tuberculosis, he was never had any recurrent chest infections. His serological test was normal, and BCG scar was as there was no abnormality of BCG scar, and so the diagnosis goes to celiac disease. BCG scar যদি না পাওয়া যায় তাহলে হচ্ছে যে ইমিউনোডেফিসিয়েন্সি কথা হবে।
আমি কোশ্চেনটা কেন করলাম ইমিউনোডেফিসিয়েন্সি ডক্টর জাস্টিফিকেশন অ্যাবসেন্ট থাকতো তাহলে কি বলতে ডিসিজ কার্ড নিয়ে ডেফিসিয়েন্সি
ডিসিজ কার্ড হচ্ছে যে যদি ফল্ট টেকনিক্যাল ও ডিসিজ হতে পারে
এটা নরমালি নট মেসেজ আছে আমি তা পাওয়া যায় কোন ইমিউনোডেফিসিয়েন্সি
congenital category.
Complement or phagocytic defect.
A T-cell mediated. Celiac disease. It is a chronic systemic disease characterized by malabsorption due to damage of intestinal mucosa by immune mechanism in a genetically predisposed individual in response to dietary gluten. It also calls gluten-sensitive enteropathy or celiac flu. Celiac disease shows iceberg phenomena. A large number of celiac disease cases remain undiagnosed. It has been postulated that there is 7 undiagnosed case of celiac disease against 1 diagnosed celiac disease case. Distribution of in India. The North Indian states of India having more burden of celiac disease than other part of India like Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir having more number of celiac diseases, more prevalence of celiac disease. The genetic association. There is genetic association with celiac disease. HLA-DQ2 and HLA-DQ8. Strong association with HLA-DQ 2.5 and weaker association with HLA-DQ 2.2. And there is also strong association with HLA-DQ8 allele. Apart from intestinal manifestations of celiac disease, there is extraintestinal manifestations also in celiac disease. Cutaneous manifestations. First of all, dermatitis herpetiformis, edema, petechia, ecchymosis, follicular hyperkeratosis, dermatitis, etc. Endocrine manifestations, amenorrhea, infertility, pubertal delay, etc. Hematological manifestations, anemia of, from iron deficiency or other vitamin deficiency. Transaminitis, muscular weakness, atrophy or tetany, neurological manifestations, ataxia, peripheral neuropathy, demyelination, skeletal manifestations, osteopenia, osteoporosis, or pathological fracture, abscess, stomatitis, enamel hyperplasia, anxiety, schizophrenia, pulmonary hemocelluloses, cardiomyopathy, also it's an industrial manifestation of celiac disease. Now coming to investigation. First of all, serological test, secondly, HLA typing, and lastly, and gold standard is upper GI endoscopy and biopsy. In serological test, we will go for anti-TG antibody, total IgA, then anti-endomysial antibody, anti-gliadin peptide antibody, etc. and HLA typing and upper GI endoscopy. But to come to the sensitivity and specificity of the serological test. Sensitivity and specificity of antibody test for celiac disease in children. A TTG sensitivity 90 to 100%, specificity 95 to 100%. Anti-endomysial antibody IgA sensitivity 93 to 100%, specificity 98 to 100%. Deaminated gliadin peptide sensitivity 80 to 91% and specificity 91 to 95%. Deaminated gliadin peptide IgG category sensitivity 80 to 95% and specificity 86 to 98%. Anti-gliadin antibody IgA category 52 sensitivity 52 to 100% and specificity 70 to 100%. Anti-gliadin antibody IgG category 83 to 100% sensitivity and 47 to 94% specificity. Coming in the next slide. High risk groups for serological test for celiac disease. Recommended category and considered category. In recommended category, persistent unexplained abdominal or GI symptoms, a flattering growth, a prolonged fatigue, unexpected weight loss, severe or persistent mouth ulcers, unexplained iron deficiency, vitamin B12 deficiency, and folate deficiency. Type 1 diabetes mellitus, autoimmune thyroid disease, irritable bowel syndrome, Fuzzy relatives of people with celiac disease, and dermatitis herpetiformis. In the category of considered category, metabolic bone disorders, unexplained neurological symptoms, unexplained subfertility or recurrent miscarriage, persistent increase concentration of liver enzymes with unknown cause, dental enamel defect, Down syndrome, Turner syndrome, Williams syndrome, selective IgA deficiency. Histological findings in celiac disease. Biopsy is the gold standard investigation. In histological findings, we can see in the duodenum intraepithelial lymphocyte infiltration, a villus atrophy of different grade, increased number of crypt of liver wound, and increased crypt of liver wound and villus ratio. This is mass grading. This is for the this grading is for the intestinal small intestinal biopsy in case of celiac disease, also called Mars-Oberhuber grading. A type 0 is normal mucosa. A type 1 intestinal mucosa infiltrated with lymphocytes, but the mucosa more or less normal. A type 2 intestinal mucosa infiltrated by lymphocytes and crypt of liver wound hyperplasia. A type 3, there are three types: type 3A, 3B, and 3C. In type 3A, mucosal infiltration with lymphocytes plus crypt hyperplasia and a partial atrophy of villus. In 3B category, mucosal infiltration with lymphocytes plus crypt hyperplasia and
in order to thank you. Because it's not possible if you get a program time of
thank you, sir. Coming to next slide, the causes of flattened mucosa other than celiac. In these cases, other than celiac disease, we can see a flattened intestinal mucosa, intestinal tuberculosis, autoimmune enteropathy, tropical screw, giardiasis, HIV enteropathy, Crohn's disease, eosinophilic gastroenteritis, cow's milk enteropathy, food allergy, primary immunodeficiency, intestinal lymphoma, a common variable immunodeficiency. A clinical spectrum and terminology of celiac disease. First of all, symptomatic celiac disease. In this category, there is signs and symptoms of intestinal and extraintestinal manifestations of celiac disease. In potent celiac disease, a positive serology is there, but histologically it is negative. There may or may not be symptoms, may or may not develop a celiac disease in later. Latent celiac disease. Normal at present normal histology, but past history of gluten sensitive enteropathy. Silent celiac disease, no symptoms despite positive histology, identified by serological screening in high risk group. Next slide is very much, I'm very much afraid of the next slide. It is the slide, it is the flow chart of algorithm to diagnose or exclude celiac disease. This chart, we will try to reach the diagnosis or exclude celiac disease on the basis of serological antibody tests, HLA screening, and upper J endoscopy and biopsy. The reasons for evaluating for celiac disease. Two categories. One is high risk group, another is suggestive symptoms of celiac disease. In high risk group means the first degree relatives of a known case of celiac disease. So in this category, there may be symptomatic individuals, there may be asymptomatic individuals. in for asymptomatic individuals, we will first perform the anti-TTG antibody test. If the anti-TTG antibody test become positive, but less than 3 times of normal of upper normal limit, we will go for anti-endomysial antibody test. If this test is negative, then we will think that the person is unlike even the person having is not in the category of celiac disease. If the test is positive, then we will think that the person may have celiac disease, and we will go for further investigations like upper GI endoscopy or biopsy. In the category of high risk group, in the category uh, in the next in the category of asymptomatic group, the anti-TTG antibody titer if positive but greater than 3 times of normal upper normal limit, then it is likely celiac disease, and we will go for endoscopy and endoscopy of upper GI endoscopy and biopsy, and accordingly we will take this. Uh, in the next group is suggestive symptoms of celiac disease. We will go for serological screening with anti-TTG antibody. If the anti-TTG antibody titer is greater than 10 times of upper normal limit, then we will think for it may be celiac disease and do anti-endomysial antibody test. If anti-endomysial antibody test is positive, then we will think that it is celiac disease. If the if endomysial antibody titer is negative, then we have to perform other sets of antibody tests and other tests to reach a diagnosis.
There's some of the
complicated. I mean, the simplified slide.
simplified ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে যে আমরা celiac disease symptoms হলো আমরা and it is IgA because IgA deficient patient gets celiac disease বেশি হয় IgA deficiency is quite common, 300 to 700 patients. So, the A2 anti-TTG test is based on IgA, IgA level and activity করতে হবে। পরে আমাদেরকে যদি আমরা দেখি যে 3 টাইমস বেশি আছে, তখন আমরা বলবো যে এটা 10 টাইমস বেশি হলে অলমোস্ট শিওর যে celiac 3 টাইমস হলে 90, 10 টাইমস হলে অলমোস্ট ডেফিনিট। আর there is no other condition যেখানে anti-TTG এত হাই হয় 10 টাইমস। তারপর কেউ বলে যে gold standard is biopsy, but the problem is the biopsy cases will be patchy. In early stage, it may be patchy change. You have to healthy জায়গা থেকে গেলে তুমি হয়তো বুঝতে পারবে না যে whether celiac disease আছে কি। সেজন্য biopsyটাকে gold standard বলা যায় না, but multiple biopsy তোমাকে নিতে হবে। That's the most important. Biopsy বললেই হবে না, multiple biopsy.
At least 4 চারটে জায়গা থেকে at least biopsy নিতে হবে।
এটা করে আমরা যদি দেখি যে ওর ক্লাসিফিকেশন যেটা বলি ইন্টিগ্রেশন, তারপর হাইপারপ্লাসিয়া, তারপর অ্যাট্রফি, আর অ্যাট্রফিরও গ্রেড, তাহলে আমরা বলবো যে কারণ এই যে চার্টটা না, এই অ্যালগরিদম তো ওয়ার্স্ট থিং, অ্যালগরিদমসের বইও আছে, কিন্তু মনে রাখার জন্য পাবলিশ করে দেওয়ার জন্য এটা যথেষ্ট। তো তারপর আমরা গ্লুটেন ফ্রি ডায়েটটা দেবো। গ্লুটেন ফ্রি ডায়েটটা দিয়ে আমরা দেখবো যে ইমপ্রুভমেন্ট হচ্ছে কি। যদি দেখি যে আমার ইমপ্রুভমেন্ট হচ্ছে ভালো, যদি না হয় তাহলে তোমাকে চিন্তা করতে হবে ডায়েটটা কমবে, উইল টেক সাম টাইম। আর না কমে তাহলে বুঝতে হবে কোনো একটা সোর্সের উপর যাচ্ছে। এগুলো there are a lot of other sources of gluten. ধরো ওটস হয়তো গ্লুটেন ফ্রি, কিন্তু হ্যাঁ যেখানে পড়ছে সেখানে আমার বলছে
additives গুলোতে
অ্যাডিটিভস গুলোতে থাকে, ট্যাবলেটস এর যে কোটিংটা তার মধ্যে তাদের থাকে, অনেক ওয়াইন আছে তাদের মধ্যে থাকে,
এখন biopsy আগে HLA
HLA DQ2 আর DQ8 যদি থাকে তাহলে with IgG it's almost definite. Many people doesn't do the biopsy. If you have the symptoms, if you have the HLA DQ2 DQ8 তাহলে তোমার আর biopsy দরকার পড়ে না, but not everyone agrees to that. আমেরিকানস বলে biopsy করতে হবে,
potential severe গুলোকে cut off করার জন্য potential severe গুলোকে
কিন্তু HLA DQ2 আর DQ8 পপুলেশনে কিন্তু প্রেজেন্ট থাকে, অনেকে থাকে কিন্তু পপুলেশনে 40%